This review is made possible by Gerald Kia in Naperville. Gerald's outstanding staff is ready to find the perfect car for you. Whether it be new or used, your next car is waiting for you at Gerald Kia. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2020 Kia Optima S. Up front is a 2.4 liter inline 4, down below is a 6-speed automatic transmission. This video is sponsored by CarMarshal.com. If you'd like to support the channel, click the link down in the description below. CarMarshal.com advertises for over 100,000 vehicles across the US. But let's get back to that 2.4 liter inline 4. Well, it is not turbocharged. It is a slightly smaller engine than I would have expected, especially considering the fact that it is not turbocharged. But that being said, that doesn't mean the Optima is slow. But then again, it doesn't really mean that the Optima is quick. It's a 2.4 liter. It does the job, but it's not going to knock your socks off. And really, in an Optima, I'm not really looking to get my socks knocked off, so that's perfectly okay. Like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed automatic, and what's interesting is that it is not a CVT. So Kia really doesn't do a whole lot of CVT stuff, and what CVT stands for is continuously variable transmission, and basically it's a new way of building a transmission so that there's no actual gears inside of it. It's just sort of like a belt and it expands and mimics gear ratios. That's not the case here. It actually has a tried and true automatic transmission, and I really like that. I like the feel of it. I don't think anyone's really perfected the CVT quite yet, and so I think honestly it feels pretty good and it shifts really well. Last but not least, of course, the Optima is front-wheel drive. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have two gauges. On the left is my tachometer with coolant temperature. On the right is my speedometer with fuel. And of course, I do get the little screen in the center telling me all the information I'd like to know. Right now, it's giving me my fuel economy, average fuel economy, which don't pay attention to that in the video. This car has 4 miles on it as of me driving it. It'll probably have closer to 7 or 8 by the time I film it. But it's just going on and off a truck and slowly around this test track. But I do have my lane keep assist screen, my user settings, and then we're back to fuel economy. On the steering wheel on the left, I have my voice controls, my phone options, volume, things like that. And then on the right, I have my cruise control settings. This does not have radar cruise control, but it does have regular cruise control, which is fine by me. To the left, I do have my dimmer switches, my blind spot monitoring, and my lane keep assist, as well as down below that, I have my fuel door traction control and trunk release. On the door, I do have my power mirrors, power locks, and power windows, which only the front two are auto. I really wish that the rears were auto as well. Other Kias that I've driven, especially 2020s, do have auto rears, but that's okay. In the center, I get the pretty typical Kia display. I like it a lot. Plenty of apps, Sirius XM, HD satellite radio, Bluetooth aux, Apple CarPlay as well. That is very, very nice. I think Apple CarPlay is really dominating sort of the automotive audio industry. I mean, genuinely, I think once everyone has Apple CarPlay / Android Auto or whatever operating system you prefer, that's just it. Because then you can get into any car at any time and it'll be the same, and I absolutely love that. I think that's great. Down below that, I do have 2 cooling vents, and then my radio, Seek Track Media, you know, the whole gist down there. And then my climate controls, again, very basic, nothing too interesting. I don't actually get heated seats, another thing I would prefer, but maybe that's just because of the weather today. It's very icy and slushy and pretty cold. However, I do like the center console. I think it's really, really well thought out. It's well planned out. No button looks too large. No button looks too small or out of place. And overall, I have to say it looks really good. I have to tip my hat to Kia for that. Then I do get a giant cubbyhole. As you'll notice, it is white. This is not the actual color. It has a lot of protective film on it. Like I said, I got in this car with only 3 miles on it, so I am going to drive this the longest out of anyone. So it still has a lot of the protective things on it. But once we slide open the cubbyhole, we do have 2 12-volt outlets, aux in and USB in. Then we go to the actual shifter. This is a pretty run-of-the-mill standard shifter from Kia by now. They use it in pretty much everything. I like the feel of it. It's not weird. It's very straightforward. You know, I know exactly what I'm going to do without even looking, and I really, really appreciate that. A lot of people, and by people I mean auto manufacturers, are trying to build new shifters. They're trying to completely reinvent the shifter. You don't have to. Just use what works. Below the shifter, I do have my drive mode button so we can switch between eco, sport, and comfort. There is no smart setting on this vehicle, unfortunately, but we'll leave it in eco, pump that gas mileage just a little bit more. And we won't be doing an acceleration test because this car only has 4 miles on it. Then I do have a cup holder and a little square cup holder. I don't know why auto manufacturers do this. They give you like an extra square cup holder. I'm not complaining, it's just a little bit confusing to me. Now, the seats are nice and comfortable. They are cloth, more towards base, honestly. But you got to factor in the price of this car, you know, the segment in which this car is in, and given that, the seats are comfortable. They are power as well, so that is very, very nice, is that they are power seats. You don't have to reach down and pull the bar and change 5 different things, and it's very easy to refine your settings, although it doesn't have memory seats. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2020 Kia Optima S, and honestly, not too much going on back here. The same sort of leather cloth combo seats apply back here. Let's see, center console, just 2 little cup holders, nothing too crazy. Power windows, do get a little light. I guess that's pretty nice, but knee room is great, headroom is great. I think that's really where this starts to shine. The Optima is that it does have a longer wheelbase than the smaller vehicles, obviously put out by Kia, like the Rio. And so back here, I feel like an actual adult. I always say this in my backseat reviews. Backseats that are always smashed, it makes me feel like a child being shoved in the backseat. Anytime I see adults in the backseat of a sedan, it looks weird. But I don't feel like a child. I don't feel out of place. I just feel like I'm the 3rd or 4th person in a car. Like that's it. And I know that sounds weird and it sounds stupid, but honestly, that's my biggest takeaway from back seats is, do they make me feel like a man? Do they make me feel like an adult? Do they hurt my ego? Because some back seats definitely do, but this does not. Plenty of knee room, and this is my driving position. I can swing my knees. They don't even touch the front seat. Really, really great back seat in terms of room. Now we got to talk about the looks. I don't think that this is a stellar looking sedan. It looks okay. It's not hideous. I'm not, wanting to gouge my eyes out when I see it, but also it's not anything that intriguing. It's not really too crazy. I think it looks modern, and I think that is one of the biggest things I look for these kinds of cars. I don't expect the Optima to make a statement. I didn't really expect it to knock my socks off. But when I look at these, I look at them and I say, do they look modern? Does the average car look modern? Because if I'm going to spend the money on a brand new 2020 vehicle, it should look modern. And believe it or not, a lot of auto manufacturers don't really even look that modern, but this does. I think it does look good. And I think in the next couple of years, it will need a refresh. Probably 3 years maximum. I'd say honestly in the next 2 years, hopefully, this car will get a refresh. But besides that, overall, I have to say that the Optima is all right. It's all right. It's definitely a quality sedan, and if you're looking for a slightly longer wheelbase sedan than the Rio, I think definitely this is something you should look at, because honestly, it checks all of the boxes. It has a nice backup camera, has nice infotainment, Apple CarPlay, very, very nice. It's a nice interior. I don't feel like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. And when you look at the price of this vehicle, this current one that I'm driving is around $25,000. You really have to pin it up against some other things that, man, they don't really give you this much for that little of a price. I mean, think about it. The brand new ND Miata, the brand new 2020 Mazda Miata, Mazda MX-5, is starting around $24,000. I mean, you should get a limited slip differential if you care about driving, and you should get the manual, and you should get some features in that thing. You're looking at around $30,000 for a Miata. For $5,000 less, you could get a full-size sedan. A full-size, comfortable, modern sedan with Apple CarPlay. You kind of got to weigh it. I mean, I think it really is genuinely a great bang for your buck, and that's really what I'm starting to learn with Kia. Kia is a great bang for your buck. Is this as nice as the competition? Does this hold up well against the competition? This Optima, yes, it does. It definitely holds up against the competition, but it does it for cheaper. But for a student, for a commuter, for an average 9 to 5, for a car that's going to start every single morning, be there when you need it, and sit quietly when you don't, this is a really good car for that. And so thank you guys so much for watching. Huge thank you to Gerald Kia for for allowing me to take out their 2020 Optima S. It's a nice little sedan, and I'm really happy with it. The people over at Gerald Kia are absolutely awesome, great people, great service, and I'm sure that they have a car that will fit your needs. Their information is up on the screen. Definitely head over to their website. They also have used cars as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you'd like to. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.